What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl, it's Leanne. I'm getting blissed out here with your heart-based community podcast. I have a beautiful divine friend here with me today that I'm so happy to bring out into the community while I'm building my podcast series. Um, you guys know that this is something that's growing on YouTube. This is going to be number 16 of the heart-based series. And then there's over about 200 beautiful interviews of things that are happening with friends and connections as I grow and as we all flow as a collective, beautiful, loving, heart-based community. So I want to welcome my dear friend Sophia Shanti uh,
Hello. Oh, so
to this wonderful podcast. How are you?
I am so excited. I love the blissed out energy because that is such an accurate description for how I currently feel, and the energy flowing all the time just really cranks up to blissed out. And I'm so excited to be here now. It is all happening together. I
Exactly. So
couldn't be
we're
happier.
bringing you some knowledge now. My biggest thing I want the community to know about Sophia um, Shanti, which I love these two words, is that energetically we are in alignment of divine timing. We've been friends on Facebook for over a while. We can see each other, we can feel each other, and I have had a sudden injury recently that's allowed me to take time for the timelessness and to heal. And in that timing, there's great wonder and openings with our soul connection, our ability to finally meet each other face to face. And I admire, how much I'm into learning and building jewelry and building oils or working in the community with those products for, over the last 5 years, and then watching her with the frequencies and her developments in her own business and just feeling so grateful that people are in alignment with chakra therapy, that people are in alignment with grounding their feet into earth, Mother Earth, and taking their steps forward with their higher self and their 3D reality of us here in the collective and integrating that with business. So that's what she does really well. And I'm just here to learn more. I want to know a lot about her oil lines. I want to know about, how did it all get started? Tell me a little bit about how did all this start?
Oh my gosh, how did all of this start? That's a great place to start. Thank you for asking. Gosh, I'll try to keep it simple. But so, wow, I think officially, if we want to talk about my oils and my services and like what I am currently super preoccupied with now, it started officially. I claimed a name and an official company of sorts around late 2021 was when I really started taking orders and sending them out every month. And really, I had worked on the courage to put myself out there for about since the winter of 2020. I had actually just gotten to the point where I finally had escaped out of my lifelong abusive situation. And I found myself finally in a new state, completely kind of on my own, and just left to be in my energy. And since that was the case, I was able to just blossom and manifest and focus and pray. And because of that, for the past about almost 2 years, I think now, I've managed to just build what I really want to be an intention, like really deeply knowing one another type of a business is another thing that I managed to realize in the amount of time that I have been successfully pretty well, having a good customer and client base. I realized that what is the most important to me with my ability and with my heart and with my items and my intention is that I actually know every person. I want to be friends. I want to really try to build a friendship, a genuine friendship, a getting to know one another, finding out where we're at, and literally supporting each other in each person's unique, beautiful, perfect moment, and supporting that to blossom and showing each other that that's possible. I think so much of us have been programmed into lack mindset and service to self mindset, and one of my other biggest things about my shop is that I love to connect with other people doing the exact same things I'm doing. The exact same things, because the things I'm doing are my favorite things. They are my medicine. They are what I think is so great for every and anybody to try. So, what would be better than a person taking it to such a deep level as to have the same interest or their own version of it, or be inspired to try to do their own? I think it's levels to the experience of receiving a product, experiencing it, enjoying it, and then even perhaps creating. My favorite thing is when people create something based on having had experienced one of my creations.
Mm,
That's those are some of my biggest excitements about it. And really, like, why does a person have a shop? Like, it wasn't because I wanted to sell people oils. It wasn't because candles. It just has become these things.
mm,
I showed up and I said, I want to help. What do I have to offer?
mm,
What are my abilities? What are my gifts? How do I organically, genuinely connect and affect people? How does that make me feel? Just all of those things.
mm.
And wanting to hopefully align with people who want the same as the ultimate intention.
Yeah, well, I also feel like it's important to reflect. So for the viewers, while I roll back, is like, this ability for you to show up with your connection to yourself, first of all, and then finding creativity and products to merely connect genuinely to other humans. I really feel like it's a state of nirvana you're explaining. Like the nirvana and the samsara aspects is like, yeah, you figured out something about you as a soul. And so you came back through, even through your business, to say, I'm here to arrive to be my best possible version of me and to share some products that I think are really cool about creativity and love and healing, and that's your way of giving back.
Yes, absolutely. It has been. I found one of the first things, the first two things I was really able, ultimately, it became a way to express all of the feelings I was having and holding and flowing through me. It was smudge sticks and oils, oil infusions. And I just had a intuitive knowing about it, that it was, and I just started to touch the things that it took to create them. And in doing that, I just knew and received to then get these things and to put them together. And in doing so, I would understand, why was I doing this? I, at first, a lot of the time with most of my items I create, I do not have a conscious understanding and intention on what I'm just showing up to create whatever is most healing for myself. And it begins to flow. And in that, I can observe what is a reflection of what I need right now, or what the collective might be needing right now through a product I'm making. A lot of my earlier products, so heavily, like Childhood's Last Wish, so heavily was me healing and reconnecting with my sacred inner child. And that was when I was going through a lot of healing from PTSD and just completely collapsing that and being able to reaccess these beautiful aspects of the inner child. And so then in that experience, I struggled for a long time when I was younger with mental health disorders. And it has truly been through the commitment to creating these types of products I've been able to channel any of what would have been distorted energy expressing itself as a mental health issue into a healing and a beautiful expression of what happened to me and what I am currently because of that. And my greatest wish is that putting it out there, just that's almost like that was like the last kind of occurrence to me, is to put it out there for other people with the intention and the hope and just the open door that if they're going through their own version of that, that it helps them to also come into their own version of where I'm at with
That's so beautiful. I can relate to that. I mean, like, I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2005. The father of my kids was incarcerated and living a separate life, and I was left in this gift of going through an awakening in 1999, and then all of these things I had to pass through in those years. Yeah, shock, so much shock. And then Why do we seek spirituality? Why do we seek heart-based communities? Why do we seek each other? Because all humans are here learning. And our business is our survival trading post of making it all work so that we're continually growing and continually finding a happy path and finding peace, right? So
Yeah.
these products, the products that you have, it sounds like, let's talk about that feeling, because listeners, when we come into such aspects of reflecting humanity, or like nirvana means human to human, heart to heart, when we come into those expressions of light, or we come into those expressions of wisdom, the reality is, what are those natural things that we energetically cling to help us through it? So chakras is one of the main things here, where same reflective thing, we got chakras in your back setting. My greatest gift of awakening has always been the rainbow. I've always been a rainbow child. I've always been aware that the chakras were calling me, and like from
Oh,
Christianity to Buddhism to Hinduism, like everything, it's the way the universe is trying to reach us,
yeah.
to remind us of this expansive energy that we have, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
let's talk about the products that, how that all played a role, because naturally through your healing, there's a tendency where you smelled an orange and you felt good. Oh, sacral chakra. Or you smelled a lemon, solar plex, right? And then maybe you had watermelon and you went into your heart. So talk about a little bit of how those kind of played a role in being created.
oh my gosh. So this collection that I have just released just recently, this past few weeks, I'm calling it my Kaleidoscope collection, because really my intention and almost the way I see it from the outside is like when you put each one of these pieces to it together, you are building almost like a lens. You're able to look through this lens and through this oil, through this portal, like a chakra. You're going to immediately be immersed to whatever level you're ready to receive, and it can increase with you each use. You just receive so much of what the chakra that I have poured myself into through it. So when I was honestly so excited when I received that this was kind of going to be a project I was going to go into making next, because again, almost everything that I do create, it is heavily inspired from what I consider to be beautiful, divine, cosmic influence from outside of myself. We co-create these things, and they love to use my vessel to support and see what I also create. It's a very interesting experience for them as well. So with this, I wanted to make an oil specifically for each chakra so that it could be applied to each chakra, or to your anywhere you please, if you're really immersing yourself into working, experiencing, receiving a certain chakra. There are so many fun ways to connect with and learn about your chakras. That's another thing that inspired my collection. Again, like you said, the rainbow. I feel like it takes it from such a basic, simple, almost primal, natural remembering and understanding of the rainbow, of the 7 colors, that it can almost have a nostalgic, trusting. People are ready to say, okay, rainbow, like I could hear about the color red. And so you can open yourself up to your root chakra. So when I sat down to make each of these oils, I had just finalized kind of a type of oil curating through my 13th crystal skull oil, which was what I am thinking of as one of my more advanced, the ways that I had it prepared and also prayed and encoded over it, and its ability to have affected others, and getting a lot of feedback about that. Each one of these oils is a root, a floral, a crystal, an essential, and then multiple different oil blends in each oil, all infused, as well as tones and prayers all over specifically each blend.
Mm.
So it's like I took as many of the things that I loved to individually use to connect to a chakra, and I'm like condensing them into this oil. And then it's really the intention as well. It's so beautiful, and I'm always so present. Another reason why it's so important that I love to connect truly with each person is I'm so present for any question you have during your experience with oil. you apply the oil to yourself, and it's going to start to open up to you wherever you are ready to receive it most. I have in each oil probably at least 3 different crystals, 4 different flowers, and 3 to 6 different roots or herbs infused into each blend, and 2 to 3 oils, bases also infused. And so all of that, and then also I include essential oils at the very end to each individual container, so that you're really getting, like you said, that smelling, because that's a big, just like an awakening. It can take you, connect you, and turn on that chakra. And then I believe, almost like in a Pavlov's dog's sense, when you continue the consistent everyday use of thinking to your chakra, bringing that awareness, using the oil, smelling it, connecting with it, bringing, there's so many layers. It's all about what you're able to make space for each day. But through that, you can build like a pathway. All of them are like a ladder, and they're designed to be able to reach you wherever you're at and move with you to wherever you're going next. And it's just a really fun experience, each one of my oils. And so then I did the oils for the root, the sacral, the solar, the heart, the throat, and the third eye. And then I was guided to create the crown to actually be an aura spray or a crown spray, because of the crown being kind of there at the outside of us a bit, like the bridgingness.
Beautiful.
So you can
Nice.
also have it. It's really truly meant to always be spraying above the head and down into the auric field. And it can also be used to open all your channels and chakras. It's meant to be very, and then clearing of any and all attachments that don't serve you. And my oils really do love and have a capability within them that when you bring your awareness before each use, it's just like turning it right on, and you can ask it for whatever it is you'd like, or just open yourself up to whatever is divinely perfect for you in that moment. And so it's something that can just grow with you and keeps giving, and I've just had nothing but wonderful feedback. And
I love the idea that you talked about connecting with your chakras on a regular basis. So I started chakra therapy on a regular basis over a decade ago. And what I want to talk, I think that's something that we can talk about, because the significance of people that may watch this and may not be aware of this type of lifestyle is that it does take a natural flow and curiosity of what are these sacred dimensions that exist within us? How do they exist? How do we get there? My first thing, what I would say, and reflective to how wonderful you've done work to maintain more expansion with your products, is to remind listeners, if you're not aware of chakras, for example, but you have an inquiry first, how to connect, and then have that awareness of where they are on the body as a basic wisdom. My reminder is, there's going to be an experience for each individual uniquely every day, and new openings all the time. But the basics of the chakras and the fundamentals of the 7 chakras in the areas where you said root all the way to crown, we've initialized, that's where chakras initially are, even though they're everywhere. They're spinning everywhere.
Oh, right. We're just talking about the first basic 7. And I will tell, yes.
Right. And I think this is a great reflection, because people that will use your product, that will have the ability to really understand what you're talking about, is a commitment. So I feel it's important to let people know, okay, so try them, trust them. It's a natural flow that's coming to you, Sophia Shanti. Shanti. Shakti and Shanti.
Yes, right. So close.
And I kind of feel like I fill in gaps because I've done it, right? Like I challenge you by showing up, by saying, I'm here to learn as your student also, because I got like 100 bottles recently, and I play with oils, and I was a hairdresser in 1990s. I have just I've had natural awareness that when I'm in a dark space, I need salt, or where I need to, when I use sage, I was like, wow, right? So the subtleness of these things, the understanding of the basis of trusting a journey with chakras, I would say buy the oils and try it for at least 21 days. Right?
Oh, yes. And I'll tell you a big thing that I have actually just kind of begun alongside the release of my chakra collection is I have two groups. I have my shop group, which is Tribe Rainbow Fire Inner Circle. And then I have my Temple of the Rainbow Sun group, where every day, to the best of my ability, just like what you're talking about, commitment and showing up, this is my lifestyle. These oils are a reflection of what I am doing right now, what I've been preparing to do, what I'm going to be doing moving forward, and a way that is also my service to others extended through the collection is I've created this group with a very small monthly donation. You're able to have daily access to me live streaming every day, connecting with my chakra system, that it's just me sharing, me literally doing it. And I try my best to speak very clearly and share with you a reflection of, to be honest, exactly how I have gotten to where I am now. I am more or less self-taught. I mean, aren't we all? I love to reach out. I've read as many books as I can, right? We take it all in. A lot of what I have and hold comes from just my Akashic connection and my remembering of past lives and connecting with beautiful people like yourself who help me just to remember in each now moment the extension of the cosmic knowledge we each already hold. And then I love to extend that reminder through it as well to others.
And then the simple thing, like the rainbow. Let's go back to a rainbow. So like every day, just like this morning, when we're getting still and we're getting clear, there are elements all around us that are showing this every day. We cannot escape it. We are aware that we see the sun and we see the moon, we see rainbows at the different temperatures, right? And then it's up to us to go on this journey. Is there something within us pulling us that's very curious to expand? And so that's how these expansive chakra healing lifestyles, liberation, enlightenment, all these topics just become part of us in our life, right? And that's important for me to highlight with you, knowing that your way of talking is also coming through that awareness. Your way of talking is coming through reflectively. Yeah, you build a shop, but your concern was more for the people. Yeah, you build the shop, you maintain your family, but you're concerned more to be a really good friend,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. And sometimes I feel like, are you hearing me? Like, I feel like, am I saying it? Like, and I try to be, I never want to, I don't feel like I want to force it either. I want to be patient and wait for other people to realize it. Like waking up to, I think sometimes people are almost like not recognizing, and it's okay, a real, genuine, heartfelt desire, intention, and connection. And it can feel foreign and confusing and startling to people at first. And that's when I love to just represent and hold unconditional love and space for around them to see if they, a lot of people, they decide, a handful of people decide they're not quite ready. And that's for some of the things I have to offer too. And that is so beautiful to me also, because that means that they now know that they're going to go do something else. And it's about allowing everybody to connect with exactly what feels right for them in each moment without having to force anything, just letting it all flow.
And the reminder about trading or services or business is like, what do we really own? We've come here and we've borrowed everything. We have
Thank
borrowed
you.
everything. And the
Thank
reason why I
you.
want to bring that up is because if we're recognizing, even in our interactions with business, we are building these natural walls of protection where it could be reflection. Even though we have these boundaries, which we have to learn, humans have created, there's no real boundary in the soul. We make them so that the souls can be able to be healthily together, to be healthy together.
Yeah.
Right.
Comfortable.
And,
Comfortable.
and 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 understanding that we're all still learning about the soul and about the mind and about the body, and then we interact and we learn something and we learn something and we learn something. But it's really this whole business concept about trading is like, why am I showing up? I'm like, the girl has done things that is matching other things that I've been waiting to do. She shows up in my life with like a connection with the divine in so many areas. And I just want to support right now by starting something, by talking about it and developing our friendship,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
In the heart based community.
Oh my gosh. And so see, and then this is a genuine moment between us, truly growing and reaching and desiring to be heartfelt friends. And this is my dream come true. I'm so excited. And that's why I can authentically show up every day. Because this isn't my job. This isn't my this is who I am. I've been able to integrate, and I'm constantly, it's the top of my list. It's a constant integration. It's not something you integrate and you're like, okay, and now it's done. Like, it's always flowing, because as we change and how the needs of the people around us change, we have to also grow and allow and change, but also while holding like your centeredness of knowing. That's why knowing thyself is so important, so that you can stay true. And that's how you can continue to be motivated and involved in your experience without feeling like you're giving away your power. Or so many people, I think, find themselves confused and falling into fear because they don't understand how they've found themselves in any type of a situation. And I think a lot of that can be rooted in just kind of just letting yourself go with the flow, but without having that heart-centered awareness of how's it making you feel, and what can you do to adjust those things. People surrender often, I think, a little bit too much. And I love to just be presently, I love to present myself in a way to anybody that if they're in a moment like that, they can see that and begin to lift themselves up and find not to center onto me, but to center onto themselves. I love to inspire people. I love for people to see something I do and want to do their own version of it. I love for people to explore things. Like, maybe it's not for you. There's only going to be one way that you find out. Or maybe it is for you, but not quite exactly my way. And you open this door to what is your way. And then I love when people share that back to me. That's one of my ultimate desires in sharing outwardly my ways.
By being yourself and allowing expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so beautiful.
So
So
much
we have your,
fun.
okay, so you have the rainbow. So let's talk about your places where people can find you and your products.
Yes, Facebook. Right now, I have set up shop, so to speak, onto the Facebook platform. Moving into the new year, I am going to have an independent website, but that is still a work in progress. So for now, I am always the easiest to reach on Facebook through my Facebook, and I have 2 groups on Facebook. I actually have 4 groups, and 2 of them are my groups that are subbed to their monthly subscription groups, where you get full access to all of the services I have to offer, multiple packages through the month. I do monthly mystery boxes that have been intuitively put together for what the month will hold for us, and it's really fun. The groups will be very interactive. How is your month going? Really about building a community and intention based committed community. And that's why I recently branched out into asking for a very reasonable donation, not so much, once again, for the sake of a donation, but just for a level of energetic commitment that you're saying, I'm willing to show up this much of an amount. Like, it's really kind of the way I'm trying to introduce a level of accountability to people. It motivates them to want to show up more when they've made a donation. They feel, and I love to help people grow off of that, a higher desire, and then to release even like the attachment to the idea of a donation. Ultimately, it's really fun. I just try to flow with it, and people so far have been doing really great. And I'll tell you, my guides, they were the ones that suggested the donation, because I am pouring so much of my everyday life and energy and my true authenticity and my gift and ability as a Reiki healer, as an oracle, as a seer, as all of those types of services that I also offer in my groups to the and I'm going to be branching into establishing an official members only association with North America in the new year as well.
Nice. So good. And so the shop is on your Facebook groups, those ones we can attach to this interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And I have the subbing group, and then I have 2 that are just kind of for free that are public, and anyone can come in, and there I share just a little bit less of the content that I do in the other groups, so people can get the idea. Am I right for them? Who am I? How do I make them feel? Do we click? Because for some people, they don't want to make that level of a commitment. They're not ready, or they might want to spend some time thinking. And that's, I love to be able to create and hold a space for that as well. And I do love lots of giveaways. I love to have lots of activity, daily posts in my group to help people through each day being in their now moment. And so through those things, I hope that people can decide if it feels good or if it does not.
Wonderful. So yeah, so I want to thank viewers because of our timeline. We're going to make this a beautiful half an hour talk where we've had the ability to show up, to share an introduction to a little bit about Sophia Shanti and all of her other beautiful things to come soon. We'll be sharing more, reflecting more, because I feel like as friends, we're now reflecting and going on a journey as friends.
Yes. Oh, and I'm so excited, so grateful. Thank you so much.
I'm so grateful too. So it's about Sophia Shanti.
It's about all of us. It's about me, we. It's about all of us coming together through each other. And I love
Beautiful. But you are the catalyst for these wonderful products. We
that.
are here to appreciate you. And that is your
Okay.
you're just like that empty vessel. And I'm so excited to look at these products more and learn more. But I think we got one door really open today. And I love you. And I appreciate you all the way from Canada. And thank you for your time. So
Thank
soon,
you.
viewers, we'll be back again talking about products, and I'll probably get some and try them and have my opinion about them.
Oh, I cannot wait. Thank you so much for having me, Leanne, today. Many blessings to all of you. Until next time.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, love.
Namaste.